Let's see if it goes. Oh, okay, it worked. All right, it worked. We're finally on live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Keyboard Warriors, presented by Ep.222.com. My name is Fred Kirby. That, ladies and gentlemen, from Recording the Woods, the one and only Adam Woods, hanging
Woo!
out. We're nice and awake and happy and everything on this beautiful Wednesday night. I'm out of here right now, so it's all good. And my mind's on basketball. The NBA draft's going on right now, and I was waiting to see who my Phoenix Suns took. So Jalen Smith, welcome to the Valley. All right. UFC last weekend, a card that you could say was sort of saved by Paul Felder, at least with the main event. And the scores in the main event was weird. I kind of took it as throwing Paul Felder a bone. We'll talk about it in a second. Let's go over the card itself here.
The scores were weird as fuck all night, man.
The whole night was weird, right?
Were snoozing all night with this fucking card.
Right.
So could we argue that maybe the judges, at least the scorecards, got the Rona because all shit is weird?
It's all fucking. Everyone's got their own at this point.
I sort of, you know what, man? I know we're going to talk a lot about the judges, but you know how I feel about this, Eddie. It's almost, it almost is redundant and annoys me. It's like the fucking judges and the refs. Yep. Every fucking card, we complain that they do something stupid. And I mean, it deserves complaining, but it's just like, I'm one of those guys, man. I hate people who bitch about shit all the time and never offer a solution. You know those people in your lives that are just whiners. They just sit around and complain about it. It's like, wait, won't you fucking come up with a solution? Yes, judging sucks. We got a lot of incompetent judges. There are no doubt about that. We all need to figure out what the fuck the solution is to this, because this is not going to stop. I guarantee you, this card next weekend, there will be a shitbird judge on there giving some dumbass fucking decision. Like, this will not stop here.
Wait, you said shit bird judge? Are you alluding to Adelaide Bird? Is she going to make an appearance there?
She is a legendary shit bird. She's a shit bird of epic proportions, old Adelaide.
Yeah, man, it's weird. But here's the thing. So you got to remember, these are we're not seeing Mike Beltran, right? We're not seeing him, right? These are the judges that the UFC actually like.
Right?
We're not seeing Mario Yamasaki. No, we haven't seen him for fucking years, right? So it's just weird. It's just weird.
To be fair, to further this discussion a little bit, and we've talked about this at length too, I do think the judges have a slightly hard job. Realistically, it's not an easy job. MMA is a very vague sport. Even the definition of our ending to fights, other than submissions, are sort of vague. Knockouts and TKOs are a bit, well, not a knockout, that's not vague, but TKOs are a bit vague. Stopping a fight by strikes can be a bit vague. You know, what is intelligently defending yourself? How many times have we came on this podcast and had debates about whether that guy was fucking out or not? So I think it is a hard job. But again, like we said before, and I don't know, I've never sat cage side, so maybe there is something to hearing the shots. Yeah. I have no idea why these motherfucking judges are not in soundproof rooms, wearing earbuds, watching it like we are at the house, watching all the instant replays in between the rounds. How is that not the best way? We got the best seat in the house. I mean, that is the truth, you know. Get these how the fuck could you see better looking through a cage than the guy that's shooting in fucking 4K? You know why the cameraman doesn't shoot through the cage? Give you the judge's view?
Because it's a shitty view.
Because it's a fucking shitty view. So they stand on those little fucking soapboxes and they give you the unaltered view. If you're the judge of this fight, why the fuck are you not looking at that view? And I realize they probably got little monitors there, but fuck that. I don't want them hearing the crowd noise. I don't want them hearing fucking Joe, Tom, Dick, and Harry. The judges should be in a fucking soundproof booth with all the fucking technology at their fingertips, able to make the best decision possible. Because I do understand that sometimes maybe, you know, you didn't see that punch land, or they were on the other side of the cage, or they were grappling on the other side of the cage, so you didn't really get a good view. Fair enough. But then get the fuck away from the side of the cage. Why are these judges still cage side? I don't get it.
Yeah, so I know people that are like David Michael Bell is a great example, right? This is somebody who is based in California and refs, you know, whether it be cards, you know, amateur and pro, right, here in California. But then when he goes out to Vegas, he becomes just a judge, right?
Right.
or I mean, and it's something that's ever evolving, right? Like there's a, you know, like you'll say like, oh, at an amateur card, like no down strikes and everything like that, but like when shit is going up and you literally see a dude or a gal fucking, do a Lazarus out of the ashes and shit like that, like. Okay, what we just said in the fucking locker room 2 hours before the fight, they no longer apply because
Right.
So like I've seen the process and got friends that are judges and refs and everything like that. So I mean, so Adelaide Bird, everything that I'm saying doesn't apply to Adelaide Bird, right?
No.
But I mean, like Herb Dean, fucking A, right? Big John when he was doing it, fucking A, right? And there's a whole lot of amazing judges and whatever. And it's one of those like those customer service deals. Everybody who worked in customer service, you fucking, don't remember the 8 million times that they fucking did well for you. You remember the one time they fucked up and that costs the business, right? And I think it's a lot of that. But I mean, also there's human error. So like, there are times that Irving's fucked up. There's been times that Jason Herzog has fucked up or Frank Trigg or whatever, like, but they own it. And again, like here in California, fucking Andy Foster will fucking tear you an asshole. Everybody that I've heard said like, fucking, you make a fuck call, even at an amateur show, that shit gets, even though the amateurs have a different organization, but it's still in line with CSAC, California State Athletic Commission. So they still get a fucking ass tear. And again, those are the same ones, the people that are judging and reffing the fucking amateurs. They're the ones that are also doing the pro shit. So yeah, it's weird, but I think there's going to be like an AI solution. Like there's going to be like some bots, probably in Russia, that are going to fucking judge this shit 5 years from now. So this conversation might not even apply.
Yeah, right, dude. Someone call it fake news.
Also, quickly, just to put another fucking little pin in this whole fucking argument.
Yeah.
This has always bugged the shit out of me. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, maybe recently they just changed it. But the motherfucking instant replay rule. Why in the fuck have instant replay if we got to stop the fight afterwards? That's so fucking stupid. Yep. Keep instant replay, but keep the fucking fight going. If you get a fucking call wrong, stop the cocksucking fight, look at the screen, be like, oh, yo, you did poke him in the eye. We're going to take the point, and now you cocksuckers get to fight again. I never understood why they would stop the fight if they had to implement instant replay. Well, unless it was like fight altering and one of the fighters couldn't continue, then I understand. But if it's just like an eye poke or a groin shot or one of those things, use instant replay, get the call right, and continue the fucking fight. Like, Jesus fucking Christ.
No, I absolutely hear what you're saying, but then also like we had the fucking stool gate with Joe Romero that didn't have any, so like pausing in terms of like, somebody's getting really beat the fuck up, and then you give him like, oh wait, your mouth guard fall. Let's do the shit. I mean, again, that's something that I think will be ever evolving, right, as the sport grows. But I mean, yeah, it's been, I would say between Fight Island and then ever since they've been back from Fight Island, the judging has been fucking suspect as fuck.
Yeah, judging
That's
sucks.
Fair.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right. Shout out to Otis and Rise and Shine, folks. What's up, dude? Obviously, you guys, it's like Kairos in the comment section. Brando says, I'm demanding that there be 3 judges team with 3 combat sport veterans to help proper judging in the soundproof rooms and HD4 TV monitors.
I mean, that might be asking a bit much, but that's a good. I mean, if I wouldn't be fucking mad at it if they were able to actually implement it.
All right. Otis says they did change the instant replay rule recently. I did not see that, but hey.
I thought so. Thank fucking God, man. Now at least, goddamn, now they can use it properly, for fuck's sake.
Right. All right. Let's fly through these fights here. We can get to the ones that we really want to talk about. Dante Almeida, the decision winner of Roque Martinez, who everyone was making fun of because he has titties. And then Alex Moreno, what's up?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah. Alex Moreno takes the decision win over Rise McKee. I thought Moreno was going to get a finish in that fight, but that's kind of what I expected out of him. Tony Gravely with the decision win over Geraldo Freitas Jr. Kanako Murata gets a decision win over Randall Marcos. I kind of expected that one, to be real. This was kind of, I don't know what you guys think about this fight. Corey McKenna gets a decision win over Kay Hansen. McKenna's got a nice jab on her.
Fuck, and the damn grappling that we saw. Shit.
Yeah.
Dude. Good Lord. I mean, that was like pretzels. Like,
yeah,
that's what we saw.
No,
Yeah,
it was
solid.
so was it. Yeah. All right. Then the next fight up, Sean Strickland gets a second round knockout. Brendan Allen. Sean Strickland can fucking go. That shit was fun.
He's a fucking tough guy, and he's got
Tough
those
as fuck.
fucking he's got those straight down the barrel punches, man. Those guys, it's you know the age old adage, but like them straight punches beat them looping punches, man. Every
Yep.
time, and when you get a guy that can really fire them fucking straight shots right down the pike, that shit's dangerous.
Accurate
And
as fuck.
yeah, man. I think that's one of Connor's best things, man, is he's just right down the pike, right on the money, man. That shit, when you can get a guy that can stand in the pocket like that and deliver straight, accurate punches, that's fucking scary, man. Sean Strickland's got that.
If he continues like this before the end of the year, probably before the summer, we'll see a fucking title shot. But that fucking 185-pound division, ooh,
Monsters.
Yeah, no, he's got a couple bears to get through at 85, but he's looking good. He's looking good. He's on the right fucking track, that's for sure.
All that coming off that bike accident, motorcycle accident that put him on the sideline for a minute. All right. Ashley Yoder gets a decision win over Miranda Granger, who everyone picked to beat her, and Ashley Yoder's like, yeah, fucking right, and gets a decision win. In a fight that I honestly didn't watch most of because I was doing other more fun stuff. Let's see. This fight was insane. Not even the fight, the finish.
Yeah, for as long as it lasted.
For as long as it lasted. Chaos Williams. First of all, came in and mean mugged the fuck out of everybody. He mean mugged the judges. He mean mugged the ref. He mean mugged the commentators. He mean mugged the fuck out of Dana White. And then just stared he almost looked like a fucking like scorned child, right? Not in a bad way, but in like pissed and staring. Came out. Didn't matter that Hassan had never skipped a leg day in his life and came in. I think he came in overweight and everything. Knocked him the holy fuck out. Stiff legged and everything. Fred, the fight probably the finish of the night for sure.
Oh yeah, and listen, yeah, you're right, man. Chaos Williams was definitely in his Diego Sanchez bag. When Drew was coming out, he was giving him them wild eyes, Jack. But listen, I fucking love that shit. I love everything. And listen, shout out to Chaos for that. Did you see the fucking suit he was wearing afterwards?
Dope.
That's how you fucking do it, man. You come out like a real fucking professional. Chaos Williams, really, you talk about a motherfucker like that you might not have known a lot about that really sort of made an impression from his walkout to his performance to the way he talked afterwards.
What about that post fight though? What the fuck was that? Meek Mill and whoever?
He thanked everybody but his mom, I think.
Listen, I fucking love it. I mean, that's how you keep people talking, man. Now, also, not to mention, how do you pronounce the prick's last name? The guy who's fighting. Fuck, I ruined these guys. Al Hassan.
Yeah.
He's a fucking animal. And let me tell you something, man. Strength of competition is very important to me. Who you knock out, who you submit matters to me greatly. Now, Chaos Williams could have done that to a lot of people, and it would have been fantastic. He could have done that to any goddamn body, and we'd be here going, goddamn, that was crazy. But the fact that he did that to that gentleman means a lot. It means a lot. Like, that very well could have went the other way. As a matter of fact, I would assume most of us probably thought that was going to go the other way because Abdul's such a fucking animal. What the fuck? He's a beast too.
And
so to come out, right? So to come out and knock him out like that, such an emphatic statement, man. I mean, you know, chef's kiss. Like, what could he have done better?
That almost reminded me of that fucking game back in the day where you were like monsters and you used to beat the shit out of cities. That's essentially
Rampage.
Rampage, right?
That was a fun game. That was that Peter Pepper Pizza. Yeah. I don't know what you guys got over there, Chuck E. Cheese, whatever you guys got. That's that game.
Yeah.
Chaos showed up in his best Easter Sunday suit in November, styling and profiling.
Woo! It was lit.
The suit, Unbroken, come on, dog. He said that was a hood rich suit, not a Richard suit. Hey, let him make some money. He'll get some Richard shit. Goddamn.
Exactly.
Anyway,
$1,000 for him. I mean,
yeah. Otis, ooh, give me Chaos versus Vicente Luque. Anytime that there's a striker or someone that gets an impressive finish, Otis always throws in Vicente Luque, and I am not against it at all. That's a fun fight.
That'll be a very fun fight. I don't know. That might be a bit too much for Chaos, though. A little too soon, maybe.
Right now, yeah. Let's see if we can do it again. But yeah, Otis, sorry, man. I should have put this up first. Who's your winner of the weekend, and how is it not Chaos Williams for that spectacular knockout over Abdul Razak Al Hassan? That was He won. Like,
yeah.
What?
You know, in a weird way, and I know this is probably sacrilege. I almost want to give winner of the week to the cat that lost his fight, but Paul Felder was a motherfucker this week, boy.
Yeah.
Motherfucker made weight, put on a good fucking showing,
Got fucked
fucking
up.
did
Like
very
here.
well against RDA. Fucking was
Mhm.
commentating 3 days later. I mean, we'll get into it here in a moment, but yes, Chaos Williams probably did have the performance. I mean,
Yeah.
he definitely put himself on the map. You know what I mean? Big time.
Yeah. And that was a great, great co-main event. To head into our main event, Paul Felder steps up in 5 days' notice. Was supposed to commentate this thing. Was training for a triathlon. Me too, brother. But was training for a triathlon and decided, yeah, fuck it. Let's get in there and fight. I'm on weight. Why not? Makes weight. First of all, he made weight on 5 days' notice. I don't know what his weight was before, but he made weight on 5 days' notice. We had like 2 or 3 guys miss weight on this one, including, I think, did Eric Andrews miss weight too, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think that's the reason why it got pulled off.
He got pulled out because of some health stuff that happened to him. That's what happens with guys that cut too much, a lot. But yeah, all that, and Paul Felder still made weight. Called him a lot in the post fight too, but still made weight. Put up 5 rounds. Like RDA didn't even come close to finishing him. Anytime he took Paul Felder down hard a few times, and he had position on him. Anytime he got taken down and had RDA on him, not for 1 second did I think, oh, this is over right here. I honestly was like, Paul's gonna fight his way out. He'll get back up. Now, I was kind of hoping for like a nasty like head kick knockout, some kind of surprising shit for Paul Felder, but he didn't lose. Like he lost in the win-loss column. Sure, he gets another L, but he won. Like he won the night. Like he lost the battle. He won the night. The night belonged to him. But yeah, what do you think, Fred?
I mean, yeah. Look, dude. I don't want to fucking trash Paul Felder in any way because I mean, obviously, he was the fucking hero of the week and he saved the card. Like you said, he put on a great fight. I mean, you know, what's not to fucking love and respect about that man? That being said, I do think that, look, I in no way want to see Paul Felder retire.
Right.
But I think we would all be sort of not paying attention to the obvious to state that like Paul Felder is clearly not going to be a champion. I hate to be the sour puss in the room that's going to like say that right now because I know it's not really time for that and I can fuck off with that comment. But like if you can, like he did very well against RDA, but like I think we can all assume that Paul Felder probably wouldn't do too well against the Conor McGregors or the Dustin Poiriers or the Justin Gaethjes of the world at this point in the game. So listen, this was his weekend. Even though he lost the fight, he saved the card. He looked very fucking good in a losing effort. But like, what do we do with Paul Felder now as far as his fighting? Listen, we all know he's an animal with the commentating. Very professional. Like we all know that he's got a career there. What does this mean for his fighting career, though? Like, do we obviously want to see him fight more, but at that point, for what fucking reason? Because he's not chasing no titles. He ain't dropping to 45. So do we want to see him take on this sort of Matt Brown, Chris Lytle role where we see him in fun fights? Or would we rather just say fucking bon voyage? You did your thing. I'd rather see you behind the booth, not killing your fucking brain cells for no apparent reason.
No, I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, and one is enough, right? Because, you know, he cut that impassionate promo after, like, I'm not fucking done yet. Obviously, I'm paraphrasing it and shit like that, but, like, what more do you have to prove? If you're not in, I mean, if you're not in contention of a world title, then what the fuck are you doing, right? I mean, every, you know, journeyman, I'm sure fucking, what's his name? Roki Castro or Roki, whatever his name was, right? I'm sure when he signed with the UFC, like he was like, I got a fucking crack at the fucking world heavyweight title, especially what we saw with like, you know, Renan Barão fucking, you know, fucking up his weight, and we saw Joe Soto, who was on the undercard, challenge for TJ Dillashaw for the world title. So again, like I don't think anybody in the UFC or even training, amateur, pro, whatever, doesn't think that they're going to be champion. But once that is off, right, and like, what are you really doing it for? Is it the money? Well, you've got the money in terms of commentary and the past fights, right? You know, and then the commentary will suffer if you get into these fucking dogfights. So again, what is the need for Paul Felder to get into the octagon again? I don't think there's a need, whether it be the fan base or Paul Felder himself. I mean, this is somebody who, in the fight before this was contemplating, alluded to retirement, right? And saying that it's getting harder and harder to leave. And he was off on Fight Island and, had some weirdness happen there. So like, what do you need? You don't have anything to prove. And again, you've got a nice cushy desk job, literally and figuratively. So what the fuck for? I don't want to see it, because I think if he does it, like that fucking, we might see Paul Felder turn into Mayhem Miller, and that's not a good thing.
Damn, Mayhem Miller?
That would be no bueno.
That'd be fucking awful. Anyway, my thing with Paul Felder, look, it was a nice little story. He did say he hadn't trained in like 8 months, or for some ridiculous amount of time. He hadn't trained. All that being said, all credit to him for stepping up and everything, saving the card and all that. But, I think it was one of those things where he should probably still reevaluate one more time. Like, do I really want to get back in there? Or should I, just keep on commentating? Because if he has one more, shitty camp like he did before, and then goes into a fight and loses or wins and he still hates it, he's just going to walk away anyway. So
I hate to put this out. I just feel like this was sort of the last hurrah. If he would have beat RDA, he would have had some real momentum against a big name. But like he didn't. What's he gonna do, man? Go back and fucking start and fight the guy who's ranked number 16th and try to work his way back for what? You know what I mean? Like, again, it sounds like a cunty thing to say, because I think we all love and respect Paul Felder and love watching him fight. But to that ilk of respecting him, it's like, yo, bro, you got you're one of the best commentators we've got. Mm-hmm. You're very good at this. Not to say that you're not very good at fighting too, but it's like, I think I'd low key rather just see you commentate. Like, no sense in seeing you take all this damage for what? Like, not to shit on Matt Brown. I love Matt Brown. He's an Ohio boy. Shout out to Matt. But like, Matt ain't really got a job with ESPN. So like, he about to fight Carlos Condit, who was selling coffee. You know what I mean? Like, if you've got the job with ESPN and you're getting good money, you don't necessarily need to do this, man.
Right. Let's see. Oda says, who's your loser of the weekend? How's it not Chris need my judging license revoked Lee for foolishly scoring the main event for Paul Felder? Yeah, when I heard first of all, there's plenty of fights that happen like this one where I'm just like, come on, man, let's get a really, really, really awful decision. Just give me a really shitty decision just this one time. And I know it'll fuck up RDA's career, but goddamn it, I want to see Paul Felder get a W here. And when they started announcing split decision scores, I'm like, what? Even Paul Felder was like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? And so the right guy won, but there was nobody. I don't think he won. No one should have scored the whole fight for him. Maybe round one, maybe, but that's about it.
Again, man, this is why this is such a problem.
Right.
Yes, that's egregious. Most of us can agree that that's egregious. But if you take this to the further step, it's like, okay, what do we do about this?
What do we do? Right.
Do we punish them? And then at that point, if we're going to punish them and actually possibly, I don't know, fine them or make them lose their job, was it that egregious? Could this person maybe be like, yo, from my viewpoint, I thought that Paul Felder was being more aggressive. Like, if all they got to do is sort of like when you're in court, bro, in order to be proven guilty, at least supposedly, it's supposed to be without any shadow of a doubt. You're supposed to be guilty. Yeah. Not like we pretty sure he did it. Motherfucker, you did it. That's the only way you're supposed to go to prison for some shit, is if we know unequivocally that you did that shit. Like, if that judge can make some sort of realm of possibility, like, okay, maybe it was a bad decision, but this is just the way I saw it.
Right.
Then we all got to take it up the tailpipe. And I think that's why the commission and Dana White and them don't really push this out, because I think they know that at the end of the day, the judge will just be like, what are you gonna do? Fucking fire me? Like, I fucking thought that, and listen, we all just talked about how Paul Felder made it a close fight, right?
Yeah.
We all just sat here and talked about how good of a job he did. So to sit there and act like Paul was on the fence, just fucking getting rocky the whole time,
right?
He or she or whoever the fuck made that bad decision could probably justify it in some bullshit ass way to where we still wouldn't really be able to get justice out of this. We need to just sort of change the way they judge fights and just bring in more competent judges in general.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right. Catching some more comments. Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman for February 13th. It's UFC 258. A fight that no one gives a shit about.
Whoa, hold on. Let's not gloss over this. I want to talk about this for a minute. What do you guys think about this fight? I am curious about this fight because it's interesting. I think for a lot of reasons, Uriah Hall coming off the win over Anderson Silva. I think a lot of us thought that maybe Chris Weidman would fight Anderson Silva again or Luke Rockhold. This is a rematch from when they fought in fucking, I think it was Rings back in fucking 1922. When Chris Weidman was fighting in his third professional fight and he was an actual fucking dog.
Right.
So, I don't know. Do you guys find this intriguing or interesting at all, or is it just complete fucking horseshit?
No, okay, I'll go first because first of all, it's complete fucking horseshit. And that fight they had the first time was when Chris Weidman was Chris Weidman. This is not Chris Weidman anymore. I don't know who he thinks he is, but he ain't the Chris Weidman. He's not the All-American. He's not the guy that's like gonna take you down and beat you up on the ground and sometimes even beat you up on the feet because he feels like it. This is a different guy. That being said, I think someone took him a little serious on that whole I'm a bad matchup for Izzy. Put me against Izzy. And I think they sent him a contract with a picture and not a fucking name. And he thought he signed against Izzy. And it's Uriah Hall. The day he steps into that cage, he's gonna get a big fucking surprise. That's not Izzy. That being said, this is not a fight where he's guaranteed to lose. You know what I mean? Like, he could win this fight. I don't think he will. I think he's gonna get brutally knocked the fuck out. And we're gonna have another sad ass fucking day. He's still my boy on the way out of the cage and everything. But I do not give a shit about this fight. I hate saying that for any because every fight's a big fight for a fighter, right? They always say the next fight's the biggest fight of your career. I don't, as a fan, just purely as a fan, I don't care because I don't want to go tune in on February 13th and watch him get knocked out like fucking savagely again. That's it.
Adam?
I do. I wanted him to get knocked the fuck out. I honestly, 100%. Like, this shit, and we're kind of seeing it a little bit. Like, I think Alexander Volkanovski in the Holloway kind of deal, he's doing Chris Weidman what he did to Anderson Silva. Max is one of the pound for pound, like, at least, again, recency bias. That's what Luke Thomas said, right? Recency bias, one of the greatest in the division in Max Holloway, right? Same thing with Weidman, right? He beat twice, and one was Anderson Silva basically beat Anderson Silva the first fight, and then the second fight was a fluke, horrific fucking injury, right? And then you're like, oh, well, I'm not going to give him another fucking title shot. I'm like, you motherfucker, you're not a world beater. And again, that fucking title hot potatoed right after Weidman. So to show you Chris Weidman's effectiveness and shit, again, it's just like Rogan talking about the Shogun era, and then here comes Jon Jones, right?
Right.
So I want, for all the shit that he talked about Silva, I want fucking,
revenge.
I want him to get KO'd. I want him to get flatlined. And not just because I'm sour. Yeah, I'm fucking sour, right? Anderson Silva, fuck yeah, I like that dude. But with that all being said, also, like what we talked about Felder, if he gets KO'd so viciously, will we even talk about we want to see Chris Weidman in another fight? This is a guy with a wife and kids and shit like that in fucking, New Jersey and whatever. So we don't want him fucking, drinking through his straw and, having a 30 for 30, like in 2 years and shit like that. And we probably won't even see that because, again, there's the ESPN deal with UFC. They're not going to fucking put that shit on ESPN. So I want him to get KO'd by Uriah Hall so Uriah Hall gets the fucking confidence that he needs to probably get fucked up by another 25-year-old in the same division. Then, fucking we can see the end of Chris Weidman, while he has like mental capacity.
Yeah, listen, if Chris Weidman gets fucking knocked out in this fight, I think we get to see that rematch with him and Mousasi under the Bellator banner as far as it goes. But I tell you what I would like, and I realize this is some complete bullshit that won't happen, but Adam, you're going to like this because you know what I would love, and this fight kind of exemplifies it perfectly. I would love for there to be a little bit more of WWE theatrics. And I know a lot of you purists out there are going to be like, what you want to blah, blah, blah. Suck my dick. I'll tell you what I mean. I like the idea of the loser leave town. Look, you know what I think would be cool as fuck? If they came out and said, check this out, Chris Weidman. You lose this fight, you're out of here. You're fired. You're gone. You win this fight, we'll give you a top 5 guy. Same thing goes for you, Uriah Hall. But if you lose the fight, you're not out of here, but you're fucking to the back of the line.
Not gonna lie.
So we all know our stipulations here. A win gets either one of you old pricks a top 5 guy. Fucking Chris, you lose. You're in Bellator. Uriah, you lose, and you're this close to fucking Bellator. I know it would never happen, but I tell you what, going into the fight, I'd be excited as a motherfucker.
Hell yeah. Those are the stakes.
Yes.
I think you see Chris Weidman fight like a fucking house on fire. If it was out there, like, yo, you lose, you're gone. I mean, we can assume that now. If he loses, maybe he goes to Bellator. But all bullshit aside, like, how intriguing would it be if it was like on the table? Like if DW came out and said it, like, listen, if you lose, you're gone, and that's a part of this fucking fight. Chris Weidman, if you lose, you're fucking out of the UFC. Yeah, loser goes home, Jack. You're out of the UFC. I would be fucking pickled pink, Jack.
I didn't watch the shit out of that.
The UFC matchmaking department, that is fucking phenomenal. I voted. Fred for fucking UFC. Matchmaker.
It'll be cool, man.
That'd be great, especially if they let you know. Because I mean, the UFC don't do that very much, but if they let you know, like, hey man, whoever loses this fight is out. You see Chris Weidman fight like he was the third monkey getting over to the fucking arc and it started raining.
And they have sort of not quite like that, but they've done things like that in the past. If you remember, Tito Ortiz knew he was leaving when Dana lined him up with Lyoto Machida. And Tito Ortiz wore a shirt to the weigh-in saying Dana White is my bitch. And fucking Dana White gave him Lyoto Machida, a prime Lyoto on the way out the door, who fucking need him in his guts for all of his trouble. But Tito knew, you lose this fight, you're fucking out of here. But I think actually, even if he won that fight, his ass was out of here. They were just trying to give him the worst possible matchup so that he could take an L on the way out the door.
It worked out, shit. All right. Yeah. Catching up on some comments here. Fuck, we got a bunch. Ooh, oh, hello. Max Holloway's Calvin Kattar, January 16th. Let's fucking go.
That is a fantastic fight.
Like Mick Maynard or Sean Shelby or both of them they're throwing Joe Silva money right now, like on the sides. Like, hey man, give us some fights here.
The only problem I have with that fight, and it's not a real big problem, the only problem I have with it is that I still think that Max Holloway is just an animal. And I kind of think he's going to win this fight. And I hate to see another title contender. Like, please don't give him Yair. Please don't have Max fighting these contenders that now are never going to, you know what I mean? You seen what Max did. Brian Ortega about to fight for the belt, right? Yeah. Y'all remember what Max did to him the last time they met?
Exactly.
Like, we don't want Max fighting these fucking contenders. Now, I'm not saying he's going to do that to Calvin Kattar, but let's just say for the sake of argument, on January 16th, Max Holloway beats the dog shit out of him. Yo, Max, chill. Like, you ain't fighting Yair. You ain't fighting none of these other young cats. We'll get you a title shot soon, but fantastic fight. Otherwise, it gives Calvin Kattar, this is your chance, my man. There is no better way to prove yourself at 45 than fighting Max Holloway. And you knock Max Holloway out, and it's, forget the fuck about it. A win over Max means a lot. A finish over Max means every fucking thing.
Title shot after that.
Yeah. I mean, he hasn't been finished since the first time he fought Dustin Poirier, right? I think so. He didn't even get finished when he fought. He didn't get finished when he fought him at 55, did he? He took a beating, but I don't think he got finished.
Took a beating.
I don't think Max Holloway has been finished in a fight since the first time he fought Dustin Poirier. Like fucking 20 years ago. He didn't get finished by McGregor either. Again, that's another thing that I really hold in high regard. Like, losing a fight's one thing, getting finished is another ball of wax.
All right. See, last time he got stopped.
Holloway, goddamn fucking point.
Last time Holloway got stopped fucking forever ago. Submission against Dustin Poirier, UFC 143, Diaz versus Condit, the Nick Diaz, Carlos Condit card. That's 2012.
There you go.
Armbar finish.
There you go. There you go. That's the last time that somebody finished motherfucking Max Holloway. He done lost a couple fights, but don't get it twisted. Like, if Calvin Kattar can come out and finish Max Holloway, that is a motherfucking exclamation point on the division.
I'll say this about that fight, though. Calvin Kattar has some fucking balls on him. He's got some he's literally fighting the Hawaiian Zombie on this one. So, good luck, dog.
And he's got some power, too. He's got real stopping power. This is a really good fucking fight. I mean, Max Holloway is sort of a bad matchup for him because that's sort of what he does is sort of take power punchers right into his game. Like power punchers isn't really a problem for Max Holloway usually,
Right.
but I mean, Calvin Kattar's got some serious fucking power.
And I think it's a win, right, for Calvin Kattar, who, I mean, he's known by the diehards, right? He's, I mean, obviously
Oh,
one
we
of
know.
the top 10, 15 in the division, but I think a lot of, I mean, that win over Holloway is a name, whether it be infamy with that interview with Bisbing, you know, and him dribbling his words, or just, you
God.
know, people know Max Holloway, right?
Right.
I think a win over Max Holloway, people are going to be like, oh, fucking the casuals that are going to buy those pay-per-views, right? That's who, I mean, that's going to raise the stock of Calvin Kattar. So, but again, you got fucking Max Holloway.
Yeah, no, we'll see what happens with that. Excuse me. I just watched your video that you sent me, Woods. What the fuck? I'll play it later. I don't think the sound will go through, but I'll play it later. Apparently, Angela Magana was went out for like a jog before taking off. Apparently, she has a fight. I didn't realize she was still fighting, but she was going out for a jog in Puerto Rico, and her dog followed her. And then as she's like, "Look, guys, look, my dog followed me. Oh, I told her to stay home. She still followed me. Oh." And then we're running, and all of a sudden, a fucking dog attacks her dog, and she's losing her shit. And apparently, she has a cut on her foot from trying to like stop the dog fight. It's fucking. There's a whole story on Twitter and everything. But I will play that for you guys near the end of the show. But yeah, I just saw it right now. I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, Juliana Pena versus Sarah McMahon for January 16th. Solid.
Damn, yeah. I forgot all about Sarah McMahon. Where the fuck has she been?
Oh shit, I don't know. That's a 35. That's a 35 fight. Yeah.
Yeah. Did she have a kid?
Yeah.
Sarah McMahon?
Sarah McMahon?
I know Juliana Pena did.
Oh yeah, one of them. Oops.
I just feel like I haven't seen Sarah McMahon. I ain't seen that name for years. It seems like
been a minute. All right, sorry folks. I know I'm catching up on comments from like 30 minutes ago, but here we go. My boy Holloway got a fight. Max is gonna beat him. There you go. Let's see.
Hard to argue.
Kay Hansen might have been robbed on the McKenna fight. I don't know. What
Possibly.
else? It's possible. Gamey Woodley versus Maya.
Woodley needs to go to the retirement home.
Woodley needs to. They say like she got a groove back. Woodley needs to get his groove back before I give him someone like Maya. I don't care if Maya's 80 years old. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Look, all this aside, I need to see Woodley inspired. Or I'm just tired of seeing Tyron Woodley fight. I don't want to see him fight like the last 3 fights. I don't give a shit if he gets knocked out in the first round. I just don't want to see an uninspired Tyron Woodley. If you're going to fight like that, go to Bellator, man. Like, real talk.
I don't even want to see him in Bellator. I mean, I was there live for UFC 209 in Vegas. I swear to you, I have never wrestling, fucking boxing, rock concerts. I've never heard a chorus of boos more than I did at T-Mobile that night. Like after that fight, I lost faith in Tyron Woodley, like 100%. And every fucking fight subsequently after that, I've lost. He's got like X-Pac heat. He's got go away heat with me. Like I just want him to go away. If you really, and this is no disrespect to him, right? But I mean, again. This is the Paul Felder argument, kind of reverberating. Like, okay, if you're not going to be in the top 10 and can't hang there and shit like that, why are you really fighting, right? Because you're doing movies, right? You're acting. You're obviously got a rap career and everything like that. Let's see if those things come into fruition. Maybe not talk as much shit to the president of an organization where you could have gotten a DC type deal because he is that guy, right? But like. It's just, I think Tyron Woodley got in the way of Tyron Woodley, and
I'd agree with that.
It's sad. It's sad because again, there's a guy with kids and shit like that, and his legacy, right? Like I don't want to see him because he's got to go back home to them fucking kids, and like I just don't want to see him in the ring, the octagon, whatever the fuck, bare knuckle,
right?
Like that's just like blackball him, please. Every promoter blackball him. Please.
Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Not for sure, but it's like, MDP says Woods is too far away from his mic. Are you?
Oh, sorry.
You just pushed something or pulled something on your mic. Now we can't hear you for shit. Check your cords, dog. There you go. Way better. All right.
There you go.
All right. BTS, what's up? Drew says, give Islam Felder. Felder's a badass. He will take it. I don't know if I want that.
Yeah.
Felder can face Kevin Lee. Iaquinta. Okay. Al Iaquinta. Paul Felder, Al Iaquinta.
I mean, again, look, there's a lot of great matchups for Paul Felder. To what end? I just don't know. Like, I mean, those would be fun fights. Look, if Paul Felder wants to keep fighting just because he wants to keep competing, then fair enough. I'm here to watch him fight for sure. I just feel like, he's in the wrong division to be making a run for a title.
Yeah, we'll see. Al blocked me for saying he couldn't sell ice water in hell. Damn. Hey, we know Al Iaquinta is a real estate agent somewhere in the East.
Yo, Al's a real one, dog. You a real one when you win a fight and the crowd boos you and you say, "Don't you fucking boo me, you, fuck you." Al was a real one, dog. Al was real. Al fucking went off on the crowd. I'll never forget that shit. Don't you fucking boo me.
That shit was so fucking funny. Holy shit.
Hey, and he beat Masvidal that night too, for the record. Yeah. Al Iaquinta's no joke, y'all. I mean, motherfuckers must have forgot. Like,
yeah, no, he's a dog. Tony Ferguson called out Chandler for December 12th. Michael Chandler's like, I'm available for January. And the first thing I thought was Tony Ferguson is too. I don't know if he don't want to fight him or Michael Chandler's holding out for like a title. I don't know what he wants.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I seen a lot of people like kind of coming down on Chandler for this. I ain't mad at him. I mean, he said, "Yo, I'll fight you 6 weeks later. Just give me some time." Like, I mean, he didn't say no. Right. He just said, "I ain't fighting you. Don't, you know what I mean?" Like, bro, it's about to be Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming up. I'm not about to fight you on 13 days notice right now. Like, I'll fight you. Like, I kind of side with Chandler on this. He's like, "Yo, let's get a good camp in. And let's be the co-headline on the Conor fucking Poirier card."
Right.
That sounds like a pretty good idea, Tony. Fuck, you can't wait another 4 or 5 weeks to get on that card.
And honestly, dude, I think that part of that being the co-main to me is him trying to make the best of the last couple fights in the sport, and he should get paid for that. So we'll see. Anyway,
it's a no-brainer if you can actually sell it. It's the 4 guys. If Habib actually stays gone, it's the 4 top guys in that division. The winners could potentially fight. I mean, it makes a lot of sense, to be fair.
It makes a lot of sense. So, I mean, I hope Tony Ferguson takes that fight and tells him, "Hey, all right, let's do it in January." But we've seen weirder shit happen.
And not to be the fucking resident Conor nut hugger, but just in case y'all forgot, he still is the biggest thing in combat sports. So if you a co-headline on a Conor card, more eyeballs are going to be in it. And if there's the implication that the winner of that fight will fight Conor next if he wins, even more people are going to watch your fucking fight or care. So yeah, that's the fucking move, man. No doubt. Chandler's been the right with this one.
No, and it's crazy. I think Chandler just kind of saw what the fuck happened to Askren and is like, nah, fuck, I don't want to get KO'd. Like, if it's not a title fight, like if you're gonna fucking KO me, or submit the fuck out of me on a title fight or a co-main, like that, those are good things. And I mean, it's weird that he's like giving this like time basis, like I need a full cap and shit like that. Because he had less than that when he was trying to fucking sub for the fucking, Gaethje Habib fight. Yeah. So what the fuck?
Let me ask you guys this. On the topic of Michael Chandler, how do you think he'll do in the UFC? Because
better than Askren.
That's fact. I don't doubt that. That would be hard not to do. But a lot of these guys that come from outside organizations, I feel like you never know what you're going to get. Sometimes you get a fucking DC, and sometimes you get a complete you get a crow cop. Yeah. I mean, you like Michael Chandler. Okay, let's talk about this for a brief moment. Who was his biggest win in Bellator?
Alvarez.
Who?
Eddie Alvarez.
Eddie Alvarez, right? Which
for the belt.
Point, for the belt. Which so just in recent memory, right? We've got Chandler. Oh, not Chandler. Sorry, Moraes, World Series of Fight. Gaethje, World Series of Fight, and then Alvarez, right? Alvarez. Bellator. So
champion.
Yeah. all champions from other organizations.
That was a long time ago, though, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's recent. I mean it's not like the
That was before Eddie came to the UFC, wasn't it?
oh yeah, yeah.
That fight, yeah.
Yeah. So right, okay. Last fucking 3 years, who's Michael Chandler's biggest win been?
All right, so looking at his record here, this is
Let's take a look at his record here.
All right, let me pop it up for you guys and shit. Since we can have it on here,
Because I don't want to shit him. I just wonder, will he be competitive, or will Tony Ferguson come out and show the difference? Because there is a difference sometimes. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
so August 7, 2020, this year, he knocked the shit out of Benson Henderson. I watched that fight.
Benson Henderson, 372 years old.
Benson Henderson, who he hasn't done very much lately.
All due respect, Benson ain't been Benson since like 2014.
Right. He knocked out Sidney Outlaw, who
I don't know who that is. All due respect.
Lost to Patricio Pitbull, right? No. Is Ferry Pitbull or is that Patricio?
Yeah, no, that's Patricio. That's the one. But still got knocked out in the first round. That means something.
Right. So Brent Primus is the guy that took the belt from Michael Chandler on a doctor stoppage for the ankle, I think it was.
Ankle, yeah, in Madison Square Garden. That's the
right.
that Pico got KO'd in.
Right. So he got well, I guess he got his revenge by decision. 2018, arm triangle against Brandon Gertz in 2018. Goiti Amochi, decision win in 2018. I see what Fred's saying.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he's going to be a bust, but I'm just saying that I don't know yet, man. I'm not completely sold. I think I don't know. Tony Ferguson might work Michael Chandler, man. I mean, I don't know. I know he's a tough guy. I know we like the way he fights. I know he's got some heavy hands, but he might be one of those cats that gets them UFC jitters a little bit and gets a rude awakening about where the fuck he's at in that first fight. He might be getting a little too high up that ladder, I guess, maybe. Like, I definitely think he can compete in the UFC, but y'all was talking about giving him Habib. Y'all better slow the fuck down a little bit. Like, y'all was putting him as the title guy. Like, ooh.
No, go ahead.
Well, just like Eddie was saying, if you've only got fucking 2 fights left in your entire career, why not be at the fucking top, right?
I don't blame him. I don't blame Chandler. Yeah, if I'm Chandler, give me the But I'm just saying, like, everybody else, like the UFC. But I guess if he's only got a couple fights left, it's like, fuck it, let's get what we can. Let's sink or swim, homeboy. Let's see what you got.
Right. All right. Did you see Woodley's tattoo? He got the cage tattooed on his back. I did not. You know what I did see was Kevin Lee's tattoo. I saw that bullshit. All right.
The cage tattooed on his back.
What is he? Who does he think he is? Akon or some shit? What the fuck?
I don't know. I think he's used to having the cage on his back. So
well, that's what I was going to say. That seems kind of shitty. Does that mean that you're used to being pushed against the cage in your career, Tyron? No, I don't love that. Like, sort of.
Or career criminal.
Yeah. Here's the good one everyone asked after and I don't want to get political, but now that Trump lost, what happens to Covington? I don't know.
Nothing. Newsflash. Trump might lose the presidency, but he ain't going nowhere. You're still going to see his monkey ass all over your screens. Colby's going to say that it was a goddamn farce and that it was bullshit and that Sleepy Joe cheated. Not a goddamn thing's going to change. I think he's still going to ride the Trump train. I think this is good for another 2, 3, 4 years. Or he can probably still. Yeah, I don't think it ain't going to slow down or stop a bit.
Here's the thing. I mean, fucking QAnon and Parler have hit the scene. So I'm just saying.
Parler.
Yeah. Somebody invited me to Parler. And
me too.
Me
too. Like, okay, here's the thing.
Cool. Oh, good.
Here's the thing about
whoa. There's 3 of us. What? Listen, the parlors that Daddy Fred knows about, it ain't the same parlors you guys. So, what the fuck is a parlor?
Parler is the angry conservatives' response to Twitter. Basically, it's a new Twitter.
It's a social media thing,
but it's only conservative. So it's like if you want to avoid politics, like that's not what you get, right? And so I've been kind of trying to avoid it as much as I can, just because I'm done. I said the second election that was over, I was done. I'm like, put my vote in. I'm fucking done. I don't want to talk about it. Don't care. My friends I see every day or all the time, they know I'm fucking done. Don't bring it up, or I will fucking just like verbally destroy you. But the thing about this kind of shit is that I was wondering, I'm like, when this is over, what are all the people that are pretending to be Trump supporters that are making money on social media? What are they gonna do with their lives? And what is what Kobe's gonna do? Nothing. They're gonna keep it going as long as they can. And when people stop paying them, when Instagram stops paying them for their bullshit, or TikTok stops paying for their bullshit, they'll move on to the next sucker. It's a new occupation. What are you gonna do? But go ahead.
I think he's gonna live in that. Again, like I said, QAnon and fucking Parler means Colby Covington can ride this motherfucker
forever
till the end of time.
Yeah,
like yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, Trump has got lifetime, what's it? No, I was gonna say Social Security, but Secret Service, right?
Forever.
And so theoretically speaking, we could see fucking Colby become like the head of the fucking Trump Confidential Library.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, or the fucking head of the Secret Service detail. Like that could absolutely fucking tell me in 2020 has there been a fucking crazier idea? There hasn't been. I'm just saying.
Well, also keep in mind, Kobe was also fucking with Candace Owens for a while. I think he did her show. So it's like, it doesn't necessarily stop with Trump. He can just still play up this whole right-wing conservative dickhead angle. Like he doesn't really need Trump to be a conservative dickhead. Like whatever the topic at the time is, he just grabs the conservative side and runs with it, and then calls the rest of us a bunch of fucking heathen criminals. And he'll keep this sort of, this is very, again, listen, I was only sort of joking about the WWE thing earlier. I grew up loving the WWF, was what it was when I was growing up watching it. Now I love MMA because for me it's the real WWF. It's like the real thing. But the idea and the theatrics of the WWF, I think, still apply. Chael Sonnen, Henry Cejudo, fucking Colby Covington, these guys prove these things, man. These sort of personas fucking work. Like, he's got this heel persona. All he's got to do is keep playing it up, and I think he will. And it fucking works, man.
Yeah. All three have worked fucking pro wrestling. They've all gotten a pay. Cejudo, fucking Chael, fucking Covington. I mean, Covington got the gimmick when the ATT invaded Impact Wrestling. That shit is fact. He was on the cusp of getting cut. So.
Yeah. And look, hey man, look, if it makes you money and it's not hurting nobody, fuck it.
Listen, the proof is in the motherfucking pudding.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to argue with the results. I mean, Colby Covington went from a middle of the card fighter to a fucking headliner that we all care about. And his fighting style hasn't changed at all. It ain't like he became Rocky. He still fights the same way. He just juiced up his personality. And now we all care. Whether you hate him or love him, you care now. I mean, that's the beginning and the end of it. It worked.
He's the same exact high level fighter, but now people just actually pay attention. And real quick on the Parler thing, I got invited to Parler because this fucking one weird thing that I've noticed about my circle of friends. I have people on both sides of the whole bullshit. The people that are lefties think I'm I'm conservative, and the people on the right think I'm liberal. I'm like, what is that? Okay, add it all together. Where am I? Right here, fuckers. That's what I'm legitimately right down the middle. I will agree with things on the right and the left, but I will also shit on the right and the left because you fucking clowns chose teams before even hearing the fucking issue. So eat a dick. Anyway, so no, I'm not going to Parler. Fucking, I'm trying to avoid all this bullshit. All right, NBA draft was tonight. We got more fights coming up. All right. Speaking of that, because we're almost running out of time, 255. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm over T Wood. Usman owns him inside and out. He's walking around soulless like when Bart sold his to Millhouse for $5. That's a good 100%. One. That's a good one. All right. A few more little announcements from Otis, and then we'll get to 255. Montada de la Rosa versus Talia Santos for December 5th. All right. Hey,
why not?
I ain't mad at it.
Each Cirkunov versus Ryan Spann December 19th.
I like that. That's a fun fight.
I really like that. Carlos Condit versus Matt Brown January 30th. All right, we talked about that already.
What's not to like about that fight?
This was blood. Ooh, Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov. Okay.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
So fucking down.
I think it's a good fight for Volkov. I like Volkov, man. I think Volkov's got a lot of potential. So I think this is a good fight to sort of keep him active, keep him on his toes, and get him ready for a big fight. Like, he beat Derek Lewis. I mean, he got knocked out, but he beat homeboy for 24 and a half minutes, and he got hit with one punch. He won that fucking fight, man. Yep. Like, he lost it on paper, but, dog, he won that fight. Like, Volkov's a bad man. I think this is a great fight for him.
I'll tell you this. Go
Former
ahead.
Bellator world champion.
Yep,
That's another one you could add to the list.
Everyone forgets. It's fucking weird. Alistair Overeem. For me, he wins this fight. They'll start talking about him quite a bit, and he might be able to sneak in there before his career is over. One more title shot.
That's true too.
Ian Heinisch for Kelvin Gastelum, January 30th. I forgot about Kelvin. Okay, let's go. And
that's a good fight.
Drew bringing us one. Thiago Santos versus Alexander Rakic for March 6th. That's a quick turn. Well, not quick turnaround because it's months from now, but they announced that real quick.
That's March 6th. That's
I got you, Otis.
Yeah, but do you think that's a step down for Santos, don't you think?
I think he needs a little kind of like, hey guys, remember me? Have a fucking fight.
Well, yeah, he's coming off that L to Glover, so that
the L sense. And the L and the injuries. It's like, hey guys, it's still me. I'm still here. That kind of thing.
Well, I think is he?
Right. We want to know.
Ratchik is no joke. So like, you better start training, homeboy. This is like you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to lose this one, and that's a tough dude too. So that's a very good fight.
That's why it's for March. And they all said is that Dillashaw is part of January 30th card. Not sure who against is the rumor.
You know what?
You guys put him against.
You know what? Listen, I'm gonna tell you something right now, dog. And I'm willing to go ahead and say that I'm on that side of the fence. I'm excited for TJ Dillashaw coming back. But God damn it, if you're with me, don't be hating on John. I don't want to hear. Don't you dare. If you are excited to see TJ Dillashaw come back, don't you dare hate on Jon Jones for the steroids. That means you don't give a fuck. And don't be a hypocrite. Either you don't give a fuck about this shit or it means, I mean, real talk. Either you don't care or you do care. Don't pick and choose, bro. TJ, to his credit, flat admits it. There's no mystery. He didn't say it was tainted. He's like, yo, cheated like a motherfucker. My bad. I'm owning it. I'll see y'all in 2 years. Deuces. If you motherfuckers are excited to see him come back, which I am, bro, you got to admit that steroids are not your pickle. It's not the hill that you die on. You cannot hold Jon Jones and Anderson Silva and all those guys out of your GOAT conversations for steroids if you're excited to see TJ Dillashaw come back. I'm sorry.
You're right. 100%.
I mean, I'm excited for him, so I'm not that, but like, don't be a fucking hypocrite, goddammit.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I don't want to. I'm not supporting a fucking cheat and all that because I'm with you. He owned up to it. He paid his debt to society, or I guess to the sport, and so we should already be over it, right? I just don't care. It's just
quick question. Quick hypothetical question. Just real talk. Even with USADA right now, guys, girls, UFC only. How many percentage of the fighters do you think use steroids? Like, all bullshit aside, just to get the perspective here.
75. I'm going 75.
Ooh, that's a lot.
Real talk. Like you actually think 75%? Okay.
I think because I mean, I forgot where I saw it in terms of like What Culture, right? That does like MMA and wrestling and entertainment shit on YouTube, right? What Culture? They basically called out Jeff Nowitzki in one of the recent videos, the What Culture MMA video about like the hypocrisy and it was actually the 10 worst rated Joe Rogan appearances, like the worst commented, and the Rogan with the golden snitch was one of them, and because of the hypocrisy, like he was talking out of both sides of his mouth in everything that Rogan was giving him. So like that right there, to me, leads me to believe it's definitely more than 50, substantially more than 50.
Look, a drug test is an intelligence test, and people can say whatever they want about. Not anymore. Now it's going to get caught. Right? No, it's an intelligence test. Okay, we've heard in other sports it's been admitted. I'm pretty sure it happens in our sport. But like, for example, I was watching All the Smoke is a podcast with Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, the former basketball guys and all that. It's a really fucking great. I like Matt really good one. They just had a guy on from the NFL that said that he used to give trainers a little bit of extra cash to let him know when those were going to be those tests were coming because they were random, right? Because he's marijuana for pain. He didn't want to get popped for weed, right? So he used to give those guys. What's to say a guy with money in MMA can't do the same for a USADA guy? Like, hey man, just let me know when it's coming. It's an intelligence test and science improvements and all that. So I'm gonna throw out like 40%. Right.
See, I think like 85.
It's possible.
I think, but how far the fuck did they say they had to go down the line to find a legal fucking competitor in the Lance Armstrong thing?
Oh, far.
Oh yeah, deep in
It was like the teens or the 20s. I forget.
You know what I mean? Like, so I guess my overall arching point is, how much should we care about steroids? Because how many of these people are actually getting an edge, and how many of them are just competing because they're all using it anyways? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, a whole bunch of y'all are cheating, a few of y'all are getting caught. It seems a little weird to be like, oh, the only reason TJ was a champion and blah 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 because he was cheating. And I don't know, man. I don't know about that. Like, so for me, I don't want to say that I don't care about steroids overall, but I will say this, Jack. I give you a hall pass. You get one or two. Josh Barnett, you can fuck off. You've been caught like 32 times.
20 years ago too.
But like, I'm not hating on the steroid test,
right?
Man. Not at this point. Sorry.
Yeah, and I don't have that like Mickey Mouse fucking thing that I mean, look, Sammy Sosa and fucking Mark McGwire baseball, right? Tell me they aren't juicing. I mean, to the extent where fucking Sammy Sosa looks like fucking I don't know, Little Kim and shit like that. He fucking is like 80 shades of gray, like that fucking right. Like you swear to God that there's all natural going on, like.
But here's the thing, even about that, like Sammy Sosa and Mark McGwire were cheating their tits off. But how many other cats were fucking using steroids during that time in the league
and losing?
If it was easy for them to cheat, a whole bunch of y'all were on it too. Don't tell me like all y'all knew they were doing it. Like we think we know, but guys in gyms, they really know. So they're like, the guy you're about to fight, I know he's on steroids. I know the dude that gave him to him. I know the dude that gives such and such camp their roids. I promise you he's on them. Take them. You got to, bro. This is how we all. It's like when you get into politics, you're like, I'm going to change the world. They're like, no, you ain't. You about to do X, Y, and Z because if not, like homeboy shoots you. That's how this whole thing goes. Like you think you're going to do some shit till you get somewhere, and they're like, nah, bro, that just ain't the way it works.
Hey, like, Obama was gonna change the government and all that till he got in there. Okay.
That's just sort of not the way it works. It goes this way. So
yeah, so it's funny, and I was using the example when people talk about steroids. Like I know I talk about it very much because I hate the people that do this shit. Like you ever heard CrossFitters? All they want to talk about is fucking CrossFit. Well, right. I go to CrossFit. I train CrossFit because it's fun for me, but I never talk about it because I don't care enough about it. What bothers me being in the CrossFit gym, or they call it a box, but being in the CrossFit gym, have people come up next to me and be like, "Hey man, did you watch the games?" I don't know if you guys have heard of it. There's a CrossFit Games. Okay. Oh yeah. It's literally a competition of who's the best at working out. And they call it like the most in shape man in the world, or the fittest man on earth and the fittest woman on earth is what they call the CrossFit competition, basically, right? For the individuals, right? And I watch it, and everyone's like, "Oh man, can you believe so and so did this much weight and all that?" And I go, "I can believe it. I can also believe the fact that motherfucker is not much different, like genetically than most of us, and is doing way too much crazy shit right there." And what are you saying? I'm like, they're juiced. They're juiced as fuck.
To the fucking gill.
Yeah. Oh, no, they test them. Come on. You think Cross is really going to test them? You think really going to test them and get and actually pop some of these motherfuckers? Of course not. If anyone pops hot in there, it's fucking over. When's the last time you heard of the Tour de France? Fucking exactly. So, CrossFit learned from that shit. All right? So, if you think MMA is not one of those spots where some promotions are like, yeah, I don't see anything. You're out of your mind. The UFC, USADA, to me, is nothing but a farce. They're just there to make us think that it's clean and everything. But if we're ever gonna allow ourselves to be fucking adults and be like, look, they're all cheating, just level playing field for everybody. Fuck it.
So in summary, Jon Jones is the GOAT. Fuck off.
Basically, I'm not gonna take away his that from him for popping for steroids. Like if you're telling me that a bunch of other people aren't doing it,
Yeah. Steroids and Matt Hamill, suck my dick. Jon Jones is the GOAT.
I will say this: Jon Jones needs to just take the fucking high road for like 5 minutes for once. Get off of Twitter for a minute. Stop fucking replying to eggs. Okay, fucking hell. All right. Yeah. All right, let's fucking talk about 255. We're running out of time, and we got you still want to do our segment?
Oh fuck, I forgot all about that this week. We might have to schedule. Yeah, we'll have to redo that.
I have one, but I'll make it really brief.
Okay, well, yeah, you do it. Maybe I'll come up with one real quick then. Yeah.
Cool. All right. This Saturday, kicking off 4:30 p.m. on ESPN2. Allegedly, it's probably gonna be on another ESPN Plus the whole time, obviously for the pay-per-view. Do I have the right card on here? Yeah, I do. Okay. All right. Luis Koski against Sasha. Like you see that name right there. Kyle Dawkins against Dustin Stolfus. Alan Joban is back against Jared Gooden on the early prelims. Okay, those fight pass prelims. Daniel Rodriguez is back against Nicholas Dalby. Antonina Shevchenko. Oh fuck. At least she's probably not gonna have Bullet next to her, yelling shit on the side from the side of the cage against Ariane Lipsky in a pretty solid fight. Joaquin Buckley again is back. By the way, a lot of shit talk on Joaquin Buckley from James Krause. Apparently, Buckley's an asshole. Not surprised.
I've heard that too. That's
yeah, taking on Jordan Wright. Brandon Moreno's back against Brandon Roybal. This right here, to me, is a dark horse for fight of the night. Don't skip it. 100%. Don't skip it. This is a fucking fight.
One of the better fights on the entire card, to be fair.
On the entire card. Fucking pay-per-view included. Because we kick off the pay-per-view at 8 p.m. Sorry, that'd be 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time. With Shogun against Paul Craig.
Hey, listen, I can tell y'all right now, it ain't a God in heaven if I pay for this.
No.
I mean, I'm gonna watch it. You understand me? But there ain't a God in heaven if they pay per view my tits.
Yeah, nah,
we
bro.
do not open up with Shogun on pay per views in 2020. Not against Bear Jews. All due fucking respect to this rematch. Like
with Daniel Rodriguez on the undercard. The fuck?
Yeah.
Really?
Here's another reason why I won't pay for it. Kayla Chikagian against Cynthia Calvillo. Don't care.
Kayla Chikagian is like this fucking nasty ingrown toenail. It just won't go. Why do I keep seeing her on my cards?
I don't know.
Didn't she like get kicked in the belly and fucking turn around or something last time I saw her?
Is the thing?
Am I not mistaken? Did she not lose her last fight like 6 days ago by getting thunderstruck in the belly by somebody?
Last 7 fights, actually.
For fuck's sakes, was she still here? I mean, does she owe the mob some money? Why is she fighting so often?
To me, she's like the non-titled, lighter female version of Tyrone Woodley. I just don't. I'm good.
Getting money during this quarantine, I'll give her that. Hopefully, fucking Calvillo throws her a beating.
Right. All due respect to Chikagian because she is a fighter that got in there with Bullet and took a whooping. But at the same time, this is a huge statement on 125, female 125.
Yeah,
huge statement, and it sucks because it could be better, but there's nobody else in there.
Plug them from Invicta again. I mean,
right? They should do it. They should do it. They're not. I don't know why, but they should do it. All right, a couple more fights here. Mike Perry was supposed to fight Robbie Lawler. Robbie Lawler gets hurt. Instead of throwing what's his name? Hamzat Chimaev into that one. They were calling each other out, sorta. They throw Tim Means in there. Still saw a fight, but it's not Hamza. It's not Hamza against Mike Perry. That would have been an awesome fight.
Hazmat ain't having it, Jack. He done moved on to greener. He fighting Leon Edwards, Jack.
Edwards.
Think what you want about Hazmat, but that motherfucker has played his cards very well. He went right past Mike Perry, Jack. Swing. Mm-hmm. He shot right past you, big dog. You ain't even in the running. You fighting the dirty bird.
All right. Co-main event, Valentina Shevchenko against Jennifer Maia. Anyone expecting anything different than Shevchenko win?
You know what? I might throw $5 on Maya just because,
What are the odds?
For real. I mean, once upon a time, fucking Matt Serra knocked out GSP. Shit happens. I mean, I swear, sometimes some of these fights that just seem like, how on earth would she ever lose? Those are the ones they lose. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying that Shevchenko is going to lose. I would imagine more than likely Shevchenko beats the absolute dog shit out of Jennifer Maia. But, I swear, these are the ones they lose, man. These are the ones, she... ain't got no business in the world losing to Jennifer Maia, but we'll see what the fuck happens again. Women's flyweight is, thin at best. It is what it is. He's got to defend the belt. So
yeah, thin at best. This is shit part. But all right. And then of course the main event, a rematch. Davidson Figueiredo against Alex Perez was supposed to be Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt busted his leg or something. What did he do?
Something like that. I think it was something
injured.
Like that. I thought it was like COVID, but then I think it was like a leg injury or something.
He got injured, and then he got COVID.
Oh, is that what it was?
Injured first and then COVID.
Okay. Well,
he got the COVID of the legs.
COVID of the legs, bro.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, this card has been riddled with injury. Then I guess if we would have had Mike Perry, Robbie Lawler, and we would have had Cody in the main event, this card wouldn't have been such a shit show, to be
It'd have
fair.
been a little better, I think. But a lot of people. So I forgot who it was on Twitter. Tagged me on it. Is for podcasters and tagged a bunch of podcasts. And I don't know if it tagged you Woods, but here's a good question for you too. You did? Okay. The question was, has this weak card or does a weak card kind of take away the motivation to upload that podcast or record that podcast? Now I said, oh, Cody hurt his bicep. All right, cool. That's right. The bicep injury. Yeah, for Garbrandt. So my thing was, the question was, does take away motivation for you to record that podcast or post it or whatever? And my response was, we go live every Wednesday. So we were going to do one anyway. Mm-hmm. I go, but to me, it doesn't really take away the motivation to talk about it, because you could joke around about it, or you could just be like, I'm not paying for it. But end of the day, let's be honest, some of these cards that we're looking at, like, fuck that on paper, end up being really like pretty goddamn good. So it didn't take away motivation for me at all, because I watch all of them anyway. Yeah. It's just whether or not I'm gonna, dish out that credit card for it, allegedly, or not. But yeah.
No, I'm the same way. And there isn't, MMA gives you no shortage of shit to talk about, right? Like whether it be injuries, whether it be, this shit is literally like what the major football, the NFL and or whatever, what they wanted forever, right? Is a year-round sport. The fucking draft and all that shit, the combines and whatever. Now they've got a year-round fucking process, right? Well, the MMA does, right? There's some, you can fucking turn on Fight Pass and there's like at 3 a.m, live from fucking Russia, there's some shit, right? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so to me, I don't think we're gonna lose. I think that the heat and the intent, maybe, like it's either like, are we gonna fucking give this the full fucking 15-minute treatment, or we're just gonna fucking browse over it, like that to me. But I don't think we've gotten to the point, at least I can only speak for me, there's a point where MMA, this sport, hasn't given us something to talk about. And I'm just talking about just the fucking UFC, not even getting into Bellator, not even getting into ONE or LFA or whatever the fuck else, right? Like, this is a full fucking time job. So yeah.
No offense towards anybody who might have answered the other way. Mm-hmm. But for me, if you feel like that, it's because you're a trash podcaster. Hey, Eddie, how long we been doing the show, bro?
Years.
Like 4 or 5 years?
At least 5.
Every Wednesday we show up. You know how many shitty cards we've had in them Wednesdays? It don't matter, because this is the motherfucking Keyboard Warrior show. This isn't the UFC show. I don't give a fuck what they do. They can all come out and put on shitty fights, and we're gonna come in and trash them. Or they can knock each other out, or the judges can be shitty. It don't fucking matter. Long as there's a month. And you know what? Cancel the whole fucking event. We'll come on and talk about that. We'll talk about that. Right? Like, yeah, like it don't. None of that shit matters. If you're interesting and your perspective on the sport is dope, then like it don't matter. Now, to be fair, like if it's a Conor McGregor fight or there was a crazy knockout, obviously we have a lot more things to be animated about. Mm-hmm. But shitty cards, bro. If you've been doing this for as long as we've been doing this, you've seen a ton of shitty cards come and go, and we pod every week, bro. So like, no, not really. Hey. Again, to be fair, if it's a big card, real sexy, the Conor fights and all that sort of shit, like, yeah, it's a little more juicy to talk about. But hey, we weren't coming off of a big card. We ain't going into a big card. And I thought this show has been fan-fucking-tastic. So
there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, man, UFC 200 is always the example I bring up. UFC 200 was supposed to be fucking like the golden card of everything. And, Jones pops, unfortunately, so we get DC versus Anderson. Awesome. No. The highlight of that card, Cain Velasquez and Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. And our fucking podcast afterwards.
Yeah. And we talked about it that night. We did a post-fight show that night.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, no, I thought the highlight for me was the piss yellow canvas. That was it.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God, I remember that. I was like, is this bothering anybody else? This is bugging my eyes, and I don't know why. Like, I couldn't figure it out. I adjusted, obviously, but goddamn.
Well, I think that was like because it was literally the fucking next day that we found out about the WME fucking buying out Zuffa, right? So
yeah.
I think that would have been like, hey, you want the fucking keys to the kingdom? Here goes a test drive. and somebody in WME is probably the same motherfuckers that were like, oh, Ronda is gonna get KO the shit out of fucking Nunes.
Yeah.
Like, I guarantee you that same fucking person at WME is the same person that made the fucking decision with the canvas. They're the fucking
No.
same person.
I remember that in the post-fight show after UFC 200, and those rumors started coming out. I think in the post-fight show and the show after, I was like, I guess you guys remember the guys everyone that was worried about what's fair and what's not in MMA, but specifically in the UFC itself. I'm like, remember these last 10, whatever, how many ever years they were on before that. That fairness, gone. All right, so let's stop bitching about this fight's fair and this fight's not fair. It's what's making that money, because now they owe $4 billion, and that in that bank statement or in that bill is coming up every month without fail. So, anyway, all right. Just real quick, a couple other things. We'll save the segment for next week, dude, if you want.
Okay. Well, yeah. Look, quickly. If you got listen, I'm just gonna throw a quick name out there. Obviously, everybody that watches this show is a fucking hardcore fight fan, so I'm sure all you pricks have heard of this guy. But if you haven't, Kazushi Sakuraba, go check out Kazushi. An amazing character, an extremely great fighter. Known as the Gracie Hunter because he was the first one to start beating Gracies at their own game.
Yep.
Cocksucker smoked cigarettes. Wild boy. If you're not familiar with Kazushi Sakuraba, please go back and watch some of his highlights, watch his interviews, watch his old Pride fights. Yeah, absolutely amazing, super charismatic and a character on all levels. So
yep.
Pick up Kazushi.
And the reason why we don't rank him higher is he fought in every fucking division that there is. Like fucking Sakuraba.
I don't know how old he is. That man's still doing grappling competitions.
Oh, yeah, he was signed to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Doing that
for like 2 years. Yeah, like doing fucking planchas with his fucking knees all taped up and shit like that.
That dude's got.
He was fighting at fucking 85, 90, and I mean Kazushi probably would have been a lightweight or a featherweight in modern MMA just to keep that. And when I say fighting at 85, I'm talking about Gracie's. Fucking animals back then. Like, I mean, Kazushi Sakuraba was a complete fucking beast and a super tough guy. So yeah, if you're not familiar with that guy, just go back and check out some of those highlights. That's a fighter recommendation. All
right, and my guy is along the same lines. Hickson Gracie, someone that I see no one has been talking about in the last 10 years, or not? Like last 10 years. This dude, just to make it very quick, he's a 9th degree red belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Okay,
that don't even compute. Like, you got to practice.
No one understands it
to get a red belt, like a 9th degree red belt. That don't even make no sense. That's not supposed to even be able to be possible.
Right. So he was promoted to that. Obviously, everyone knows he's part of the family. This man fought MMA before it was MMA, right? And he'll never say he was an MMA fighter. He was I was a Vale-Tudo fighter, right? This dude fought fights that were ridiculous. He's back from the days of gym invasions. All right, there was plenty of stories, but the most famous one, I forget the wrestler's name. It was a Japanese wrestler. Hey, Woods, you might know this one. The Japanese wrestler came to his gym, asked him to fight. He brought his own camera guy. I don't know if you know that story.
Yeah.
I forget the name.
Remember the name.
Yeah. So anyway, dude comes in, and but Hickson goes, no cameras. We fight like men, and then we end it there. So he comes in, they close the doors, they fight, and they open the doors and let the Japanese dude's camera guy in, and Japanese dude is fucked up. Turns out Hickson had one of his students film it. Legend is that tape is somewhere in Hickson's possession, and he's been teasing it for years and years and years, and he still hasn't let anybody put it out for us to see. And goddamn it, Hickson, put that goddamn video out. But anyway, Hickson Gracie, to me, like, might be the best fighter overall of all time ever. Just for the shit that he has. He has fucking stories that some people don't even believe happened, and that people were there for. It's crazy.
As far as like a legendary character goes, it gets no. But listen, it's just Hickson by armbar.
Right.
Like if you know, you just say that, and that's what it is. Like, if it's like, oh, Felder this, Jon Jones that, Hickson by armbar. That's it. Like, that's all you need to know, Jack. It was Hickson by armbar, and that was the end of it, no matter what, period.
Yeah.
Good pick, Eddie.
Yeah, Vale-Tudo, Pride, Coliseum. He fought in,
he fought in the very first Pride ever, right? If I'm not
first Pride ever.
The very first Pride ever. He was the main event. Like, Was it against Kazushi? Am I tripping?
Oh,
No, maybe not. I might be tripping.
Let me see
About
if I
that.
can find it.
I don't think Kazushi fought Hickson, but I am pretty sure that Hickson was in.
Nobuhiko Takada, first Pride event.
Okada.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Takada.
That's right.
Yeah,
Which obviously Hickson won.
Yeah. And Hickson, part of those guys back in the day, everyone talks about like, oh, we need to do a tournament. We got to do a tournament for lightweight and featherweight. This guy was actually in tournaments the same night type of tournaments where he fought Hector 3 or 4 times and he always fucking won. So, real quick, if you guys want to learn more about Hickson Gracie, obviously Google the fuck out of him, but go watch Choke on YouTube. It's still on there. Last I saw, Choke. Watch Choke. If you train before the end of it, you're gonna be putting on your fucking gi and your belt, or putting on your rash guard and your shorts, and you be as soon as the movie's over, you're gonna head out to the fucking to the academy because it's on. If you don't train, it will help pump you up.
Just watching him breathe,
Dude,
when that motherfucker be sucking his muscles in his muscles move more than motherfucking Cardi B's ass cheeks in her Atlanta days. I mean, he does some amazing shit with breath work. Like seriously, yeah, Choke. Incredible recommendation for sure.
Yeah,
go watch that.
Go watch that. If you're an MMA fan, just a martial arts fan, go watch it.
Brilliant.
Can I throw one in?
Absolutely.
Dan the Beast Severn.
Very good.
That's when people talk about like goats and fucking like top 15 heavyweights of all. Like first off, just the reason why I know MMA is because Dan Severn walking into WWF Shotgun Saturday Night with 3 non-WWF belts, right? Mm-hmm. The NWA title, and then the fucking heavyweight title, and the what is it, like the fucking King of the Tournament, whatever fucking title.
Yeah.
I knew enough about wrestling that fucking Vince McMahon doesn't let anybody just fucking walk. That's it, exactly. Walk onto fucking his TV with belts that he doesn't acknowledge. So for you to have that gall and be flanked by Jim Cornette, and again, what he fucking did to Owen Hart that night, and with Jim Ross saying, "Oh, cage fighting champion, the UFC Ultimate Cage Fighting," and shit like that. I literally fucking begged my dad to take me down to the Hollywood Video and fucking rent a UFC fucking videotape. He takes one look at it and goes like, "Fuck, that's too violent." So I go take my happy ass to fucking the action section and get a Charles Bronson Death Wish with the fucking gun and shit like that. And my dad was like, fucking go get your UFC tape. And again, I knew wrestling might have been a work, right? But to see the fucking thing that Dan Severn did to Owen Hart, who, again, family of wrestlers, Stu Hart, legendary catch wrestler and shit like that, owned the territory, like whatever. But the fact that fucking, think about what we knew at the time, right? The fucking guy at the end of the bar in fucking Tag Abbott being a fucking tough guy, the bodybuilder, the boxer, the karate guy, whatever the fuck, right? And Dan Severn, for all the fucking shit, the praise that you give to Hoist and everything like that, you can't overlook Dan fucking Severn. So for me, if you're gonna fucking, I mean, that motherfucker just retired like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
right? And he started. Yeah, and he started his MMA career at 38. 38, right? So again, when people talk about, greatest of all time or motherfuckers that you should watch, right? And you might say, oh, Dan Severn fights are not fucking fun to watch or whatever, because he was that dominant. They call him the Beast for a reason. He could lay and pray you like a motherfucker. And he did it with everybody. So if you're going to fucking go down a wormhole, I warmly encourage you to go down one of Dan the Beast Severn.
Yeah. And just to add a couple things about Dan Severn, Arizona State Hall of Famer, Arizona State University, and I'm not a big fan of ASU at all, but Arizona State University Hall of Famer, All-American there, Olympic alternate, I think twice. Dude's a legend. Just go look him up. All right.
Oh, 3, like literally wins in the triple digits in MMA.
Yeah.
Look at that. See, listen, none of this was pre-planned, and we literally just gave y'all the grappler's gold mine.
Right.
Kazushi, fucking Hickson, and Dan the Beast Severn. Like, go suck on that, you son of a bitches. If that don't fucking gnaw your appetite for grappling, nothing will.
There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight. Appreciate the you guys hanging out. Of course, the website's RipTheWarriors.com, SuppressPros.com. You can find all our stuff, KeepItWarriors.com. According to Woods, make sure you go follow him, this man, on all those social medias. Go listen to the podcast and everything. Dude just shows all the time. If you happen to be awake at 3 a.m., you might catch one. We'll see. Yeah. Shout out to everyone who tuned in today. I'm Broken, BTS. Who else do we have? Otis, of course. Museman, my brother Brando. Who else do we have? A bunch of people. I know Kairos was here earlier. Everyone that tuned in, you guys are dope. And I know Head Kick couldn't make it, and Godsman couldn't make it today. You guys, have fun, be safe and everything. All right. You guys are dope as fuck. You can follow everybody at the social medias and everything. It's gonna do it for us, all right? Love the hell out of you guys. Catch you guys next week. Good night and good night, Wilshire.